First, I want to say hello to Mr. James White, and I made this video just as a response to your video. And Mr. James White, I noticed that Muslims are quoting your videos and spread it all over, not necessarily only this one, many of them. And my experience is when Muslims, they start quoting someone and using his phrases, it's mean he is gone wrong. The followers of the devil will not use you unless you are a good tool for the devil. I don't mean to insult, but I want to show you what's happening here. You can go and search for James White's videos used in Islamic YouTube, and you will find many of them. As an example here, Muslims are quoting him. As you see, he became suddenly a beloved person by the Muslims, and they are using him for their propaganda. Let us hear what he is saying here, which Muslims they really love.
Conservative, militaristic Christian who says, yes, that is Islam as a whole, is lying.
First, he said something very ugly and very, showing disrespect to the Christians. He said, militarily, what else? Like, can you point your finger at them? What this guy is talking about? Are you Christian or you are the enemy of Christianity? What do you mean the military Christian or the military Christian? What are you talking about? Do we have ISIS Christianity? Do we have Al-Qaeda? What this guy is talking about? And then when you say, when those people, they say that this is Islam, ISIS is Islam as a whole, is a lie, what do you mean? Now I understand why Muslims are quoting your videos and using them for their propaganda. Now let us refute Mr. James White and show you how the wise man is gone mad. Listen carefully and let us refute him for what he said.
There are a few topics more emotional today for most people than the subject of Islam, ISIS, what we're to do. We actually have political candidates suggesting that we close all the mosques, at least register, if not deport Muslims, all sorts of amazingly radical things. And I say it's amazingly radical because...
First of all, none of those who are going for election, he said, we want to close the mosque. I think you have a very weird information. I think you are getting your news from Mickey Mouse cartoon. Can you tell me which candidate he said we want to close the mosque? Or what they are saying, and all of you guys, you can go and see all those who went to election what they said. Or what they said, the mosque is a public place, and the FBI should not be forbidden from attending public place. They can listen to a church, they can listen to a mosque, and this should be allowed to everybody. Nobody says close the mosque, and nobody says anything about this. So you are fabricating stories that not exist. And I challenge you to tell me who is the one who said we want to close the mosque in USA. Like, can you name him for me? Or you are making things up? Are you a fabricator? Are you really Christian? Let us continue.
Let me just start off with this. If you're a Christian and you're going, rah, rah, do that, I don't even know what to say to you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't you realize, don't you understand?
Yeah?
If you give that power to the secular government of the United States, which has proven itself to be extremely opposed to the Christian faith as well, that they will eventually use that power against us?
Just to show you how weird you are. Well, this power is not used against anyone unless you do something wrong. So if the Christians, they do something wrong, shut them down too. If there's somebody claim to be a Christian and he want to do terrorist attack, shut him down, take him to jail, execute him. If somebody, he claimed to be a Christian but he's a criminal, execute him. So what's your problem? What's wrong with this guy? The government, they will not go and arrest you for saying Jesus is God. Aren't you really worried that, if the government, they do that, they would go after us? Like what? Why we are doing? Are we killing people? Are we kidnapping people? Are we beheading people? What the government will do to us? Like, what's wrong with you? So he's trying to install fear inside your heart. Like, if you go after Muslim, they will go after you. No, no problem. They can come after us if we are doing something wrong. You see, many people, they say the government are listening to our phone calls. Let them listen to my phone call. If I have nothing wrong, I will not be worried about my phone call. What I'm going to say in my phone call? Saying to your wife, buy some grocery? Say to your friend, come over? He's trying to install fear in your heart just to protect the Islamic religion. And this is not only about Islam. Yes, if the Christians are doing something wrong, shut them down. Anyone will do wrong, shut him down. Anyone will do criminals behavior, shut him down. What's wrong with that? Aren't you worried? They will go after us? Wow. What's wrong with this guy?
You don't see that?
No. Man. ما أدري.
I'm just left stuttering at times.
Really?
I see people, go get them Muslims. You're like, you want the government to be going after people on religious ground? Well, great. Wonderful. Anyway, there's tremendous amount of emotion out there. And what I'm seeing is, well, what you'd expect to see, a radical polarization where any middle ground, and I'm not normally in the middle, but I am here. I'm forced to be here because I see the imbalances on both sides. I see a lot of Christians who seem to think that Islam is absolutely monolithic and that they somehow have the capacity, they somehow have the ability to do what Muslims have never been able to do. And that is to discern what true Islam really must be. It's funny, a lot of my Christian apologist friends will say, look, most of the Muslims that we talk to are Salafi. Salafi refers to the Salaf, the early first generations, Muhammad, his companions, generation after that. And so what you would technically refer to as fundamentalist Muslims, Wahhabi, going back to strong emphasis upon tawheed, avoidance of shirk, a rather strict, literalistic interpretation, very strong commitment to hadith, and to hadith sciences, historically speaking. That
you see, this the foolish talk here. He's saying the Salafi only, they are the one who follow this. This is absolutely a garbage talk. This is what every Muslim have to follow. The Quran says clearly that you have to obey the Prophet and Allah. If you obey Allah, you obey the Prophet. So whatever the Prophet, he said in the Hadith, the Muslims, they have to follow. There's nothing is called really Salafi. This is a joke. There's nothing is called Wahhabi. It's a lie. All those who you call them names, they say we want to follow Islam. So are you saying to me the Salafi is the one who follow truly Islam and there is Muslims who don't want to follow the true Islam? Well, if this is the case, the true Islam is ugly. Thank you very much. So you want to say to us, there is some Muslims, they don't want to follow the true Islam. There is some Muslims, they want to follow the true Islam. But because he just said, guys, the Salafi is the one who follow Muhammad as he was. They want to follow as Muhammad was in his era, in his time, as what he practiced, as what he did, as what he taught. So now he is saying to us, those we call them Wahhabi, well, those are the true Muslims. And that is Islam then. If Muhammad, this is what he taught, this is the true Islam. You see how funny what he's saying, how silly? This is a child. I don't believe this is a guy educated like this, he speaks this way. What's wrong with those people? Listen carefully and laugh.
Those are most of the people we've talked to. And so that's what defines Islam. Anybody who's not that isn't a real Muslim, you see.
No, this is what defined Islam. You just said yourself. You said the Salafi is the one who will follow the Prophet as he is. You just said that the Salafi is the one who will practice Islam as the Prophet he practiced it. Are you talking about Muslims or about Islam? You see how he's mixing things? There is a Muslim, he go with his wife with the bikini to the beach. That is not our case. This is not a Muslim anyway, because the Quran says clearly, in order to be a Muslim, you have to follow and practice Islam. If you don't practice it, you are not a Muslim. So he's mixing big deal between things that have nothing to do with our topic. My topic is not a woman. She's wearing jeans. She want to go to the beach, and her name is Fatima. She is not a Muslim. And the Quran says that, not me. I'm not talking about someone, his name is Muhammad, and he want to take me as a friend for real. He is not a Muslim, because the Quran says in chapter 5 verse 51, chapter 3 verse 28, chapter 9 verse 23, if you take any one of the non-believers as a friend, you became one of them. You can go and read chapter 5 verse 51. If you take them as a friend, you became one of them, which means you became a Christian. So what this guy is mixing up? Let us continue.
When people think that way, then they turn around. And when Muslims try to hold us accountable for the Crusades, oh, that was the Pope. They try
Hold on. What's wrong with this guy? When the Muslims they try to take us accountable for the Crusade, yes, take us accountable for the Crusade. As if the Crusade is our fault. You claim to be a scholar? Don't you know that the Crusade is something is done after the Muslims attack us first? How come in the first 600 years after Jesus entered Islam come, we don't have a crusade? Can you explain that to me? The crusade happened after the Muslims attacked us, not before. We are not the one who attacked Mecca. The crusade was an act of defense, not an act of offense. You see how he's misleading? You see how he's deceiving you? And he claimed to be Christian? Oh, when they try the Muslim to take accountable for that crusade, we say this is the Pope. This is a lie. This has nothing to do with the Pope. We have the right to defend ourselves. The Muslims are the one who attack us. The Muslims is the one who took Jerusalem from us. They took Jerusalem, and everybody can go right now and search. Right now. Don't do it tomorrow, I advise you. Search for the Pact of Umar, and you will see how disgusting it is, how he came to our land, he took our churches, and he forced us to pay money like a slave, and he made conditions which unbelievable. This is one of those things which Umar and the Muslims, they put on us. We shall honor the Muslims and raise from our seats. If they desire to sit, like if you are sitting in a place and a Muslim they came, you sit up, and the Muslim can take your chair. The Muslim, he can go inside your house and stay in your house for 3 days, 3 nights, and maybe he sleep in your bed. You cannot say no. For free, anytime he want. And you should not do this. Even your hair, you have to shave it in a certain way. Even your clothes have to be in a certain way. Even what you wear, even how you talk, even how you dress, even what you say. And this guy is telling us about the crusade. After all this humiliation the Muslim did to us, you don't want us to do crusade? So what we will do? So suddenly, according to James White and his ignorance, the crusade are the criminals, not the victims. When it is the opposite. The Muslims who attacked us, after many years of the attack, the crusade started, that right away. It is not us who send a letter to Muhammad saying, convert to Christianity or we will kill you. It is Muhammad who sent a letter to 3 kings. To the king of the Ethiopian, the king of the Persian, and the king of the Romans, saying, convert and you will be saved. You don't, we will kill you. Aslim, taslam. So what this guy is talking about?